Breaking news, the Ring Magazine have announced yet another fight, and that's Jaron Ennis versus Stanionis Unification on April 12th, 2025. This is a pretty good fight. A tough fight for Jaron Ennis coming off his previous fight. Stanionis is a pressure fighter who brings the heat. So this is going to be a war. There's no doubt about it. We know how Jaron Ennis gets, and we already know how Stanionis gets. One thing Jaron Ennis showed in the pros, unlike his amateur version of himself, is that he can handle pressure. I remember when he fought Gary Russell in the amateurs, you could tell the pressure got to him, and that's how Gary Russell beat him a couple times. Due to the pressure he was applying, he was doing the Sean Porter on him, smothering Jaron Ennis, not letting him breathe. Well, when Jaron Ennis fought a pressure fighter in the pros, Villa, I call him the mountain climber, Jaron Ennis looked at his best against Villa. But the key difference between Stanionis and Villa is that Stanionis brings a skill element to it. He's more skilled than Villa. So I want to see how Jaron Ennis is going to handle the pressure of Stanionis with skill. In my eyes, Stanionis is more like a Gary Russell than a Villa. So I want to see how Jaron Ennis is going to handle that type of style, that type of pressure. Jaron Ennis better be on his P's and Q's from round one, utilizing his jab and his best attributes, fighting smart. Because if he doesn't, Stanionis is going to make it a very tough fight. And this is truly a 50-50 fight on paper due to how Jaron Ennis looked his last fight and the fight before that. Lastly, Jaron Ennis did exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he wanted a unification, even though the unification looked really unlikely. However, he was able to get the job done. He turned down mega fights, crazy money to fight at 154 against Virgil and to fight at 147 against the 140-pounder Teofimo Lopez. He gambled with his career because if he wasn't going to be able to get a unification, that would have looked really bad. But the fact that he did, he made up for it. So with that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continue on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I can be his biggest test. So I think that's the truth. So I want that fight. He wants that fight, and also we might get it. We'll see. When I supposed to fight him, in 2020, so I looked at and I saw holes. I think he sees the holes in my, in my style, everything. So, we have to just fight, not talk, and prove in the ring.